Mm. Well, apparently we're live on two different places in YouTube, but don't know what that's about. It'll be fine. It'll all be fine. Make sure it's going through. Well, apparently we're live on two different places in okay, sorry about the echo there. All right. Well, is let's see who is on here. Hi, Megan. Hi, Carly. See who's on Facebook. Hi, Priscilla. Yeah. All right. Well, looks like we are good to go. The first thing I want to say is I'm sorry that Jenna wasn't able to make it for this live stream. She is currently working on a film set right now. And she is going to be doing that for pretty much the rest of the month until filming. So she'll probably be on another live stream sometime. I just don't know when that's going to be, but I'm sure she will. Yeah, I know you all love Jenna. So, but today you just get me. But anyway, let's see where we're at with comments. You know, it just occurred to me that that today's 9/11. Like I've been so caught up, so busy with everything that we're doing with anti and like there's been no breather. I have not had a breather. So sorry, I haven't been able to put something out or pay respects about that today. But I just want you to know that you're all in my thoughts and prayers out there. All right. Hi, Suzanne Flynn. Suzanne Flynn was one of our investors, and well, investors isn't the term because donors. So, but anyway, without further ado, I'm going to shout out some of the people who have made orders since the last live stream. But before I do that, I want to bring on a guest because I'm not sure how much longer she's going to be here. Introducing waiting for her to come on.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can. Hold on, let me just clear up my phone. Hi,
Sorry if you hear a
everyone.
cough from me every once in a while. Like I've been a few days ago, I got the flu, so
Ooh, oh, you poor thing.
still have a few symptoms, some drainage, and yeah,
Yeah,
little cough. So, but that's one of the reasons why you haven't seen live streams from us since the one with Jarrett that we did. But anyway, Megan, we have been trying to get you on for a
yes.
while now.
Yeah. Hold on, sorry if you hear any noise in the background. That's no, you're totally fine. That's what you get when you live with 5 other people.
Yeah. But anyway, Megan is one of our associate producers on the project. When we first started working on the pilot, working on the concept for introducing the series as a pilot, she was one of the first people who we reached out to with the script, with the idea, back in late 2021. And yeah, she's now also going to be a background talent coordinator along with
Yes.
Catherine Menning. and BTS producer with Colby Robinson. So,
A jack of all trades.
so Meghan, I was hoping to hear a little bit about your journey, how you got like your perspective of how you came into the project and just your initial thoughts at first, and what you look forward to seeing and coming from this project. Because I actually just sent the outline for season 1, episode 1 of Anti yesterday to you, as well as a few other of our producers, but just wanted to hear from you.
Okay, that's a lot to take on at once, so bear with me.
Yeah. You take the time you need.
How did I come into the project? I think you just sent me the scripts, just to get my thoughts, and then I was sort of in from there on out, right? Right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
What was that last part again?
I said, I think once you sent me the script, I was just sort of, I don't want to say I was involved from there on, but you sent me the script just to get my thoughts on it and see what I liked, right? And then
Yeah,
we just ended up talking about it.
It basically happened, basically how it happened with everyone is that from us talking about it and then you wanting to be involved, like on social media, making posts and TikToks about it, and then it came to the point to where you did so much, and I was like, why don't we just make you an associate producer? And there were a couple other people from that early on who fell into that position, being Catherine Minning and Colby Robinson. We have a few other associate producers now. In fact, one that I'm going to be announcing on this live stream later today.
Yes, so, I'm so excited. If you guys are Chosen fans, which I imagine most of you are, you'll recognize this person.
Yeah, it is somebody I'm very, very excited about bringing onto the team. But yeah, like sorry. But what was your initial thoughts of like the concept? Because I know with Revelation, Antichrist, it's not particularly something that people look at like in film and go, oh, that's great storytelling material, or like, oh, I want to see something on that. I mean, it's been done to death kind of before, long time ago, but it's pretty generic. Like, oh, the world is just an awful place after all the people disappear and bad politician takes over.
Yeah. It was always something I sort of strayed away from. I've never, growing up, I believed, but like I wasn't like really into my faith. I wasn't really reading the Bible. So Revelations was just sort of like, ignore it. It'll come when it happens, for me at least. And then anything end of the world as well, I just sort of strayed away from. Like I always associated it with natural disasters, and natural disaster movies freak me out more than really thriller or scary movies. So it was sort of like just an avoidable topic for me altogether. And then I don't know. I remember when I saw the script and I knew what the concept was. I just thought it was really fascinating. It took me a few reads to really catch on everything that was happening and all the different nuances and how deep it really is. Like, it's one of those, I don't want to say it's, you don't get everything the first try, but just the way me and my brain is, it took me a few reads to really make the connections and be like, oh, this is going to be something really good. So
yeah,
I don't know. Those were my initial thoughts. I hope I answered your question. I don't remember, but
you did. I mean, it was great. One of the things that I think is prominent with Anti is that it is one of those stories that is meant to be layered so the audience is able to peel the pieces for that rather than having everything explained out to them or just there at once. And I mean, that's the way life is too. It's it's not just what it appears to be on the outside. And I think that's also what sets it apart from some other Revelation movies that have been made, because it's pretty just generic stuff.
Yeah.
And with Gowden's character, I think that there's also he has to go through that layering himself to be able to find the light, to be able to find redemption. And like we'll see if he finds it or not. Like it obviously in the pilot it hints at that. It hints that that there is a chance for him if he's willing to see it and accept that. But he's been through so much already that he doesn't know who to believe. And sorry if I'm spoiling everything for those who haven't read the script to the pilot. But one thing I do want to just make really clear, real quick. This week we were fortunate enough to be able to get halfway to our production budget goal.
Woo!
which has a deadline of September 28th. And when I say fortunate, I also mean like blessed, obviously. Like you people coming together and just showing this overwhelming support of wanting to see this project made and just believing in what Jenna and I are trying to do in this. And when I say that it's people like you that make this project possible, I literally mean that, because if we don't get to our goal of 74,877, which I believe that we're currently at, hold on, let me check.
Oh yeah, I haven't checked it in a while. I just saw the update.
37,305. If we don't get to our
Oh my word.
Yeah. And if we don't get to our goal or close to our goal of 74,877, then we will have to make the film quite a good bit later, because there's going to be a lot more money involved. Right now, Jenna is using this film as her thesis, which it was interesting because last year we were thinking that we might want to introduce Anti as a pilot, but with her making her thesis this year, we thought, what better way to make it than to take advantage of the equipment that Liberty is using, the high quality equipment and cameras and all of that, which is going to save a lot of money too. So if we were able to raise all the money that we need before September 28th, or if you know people that you may want to reach out to, or if you'll just pray over the project, then it would just be such a miracle and such a blessing. We'll be able to tell this story much sooner and impact the lives of so many more people. And I'm just absolutely blown away by what we've been able to receive so far. In fact, I'm going to shout out some of the orders that we've gotten since the last live stream.
Awesome. I still need to get my t-shirts, by the way.
Yes,
I've been meaning to.
So we got Julian Burns, who ordered a Julian Burns, who ordered a anti-hooded sweatshirt for $55.
Woo!
And fun fact, she actually ordered that for Jarrett Lemaster, so that will be shipped out to Jarrett in California. Jarrett, if you didn't know, he's our lead actor playing Gowden. We did a live stream with him last time. You can go and watch that on our YouTube channel. And we also have, sorry,
Yeah.
takes a
No,
while.
that's okay. I keep looking down. I'm trying to look at the comments myself as well. So
Margie Shorter, who spent $5 for special thanks, $15 for early digital film download, $45 for anti-script access, and $35 for anti-t-shirt women's V-neck.
very cool. Shout
Thank you.
out.
Thank you so much, Margie. Okay. This one is pretty incredible. Well, in our first live stream, Jim Martino paid $5,000, $6,000 for the executive producer credit, and has joined our team as an executive producer. On Facebook, he goes by the name Shantamaya Siri, but on September 9th, Jim paid the executive producer credit twice, giving $10,000 to the project. And that was a huge, huge reason why we jumped all the way to halfway to our goal. So, Jim, if you're watching this, I cannot describe how much that means to me and Jenna, and for people like you to just give to that out of believing in the project and just giving everything out of belief and love. It just blows me away. And at this point, there really isn't a doubt in my mind that we're going to get to our production budget goal before the 28th. But we are going to need some people giving in the thousands for some executive producers and things like that in order to get there realistically. I understand those out there who aren't able to give money or give a little bit of money. Every little bit helps, and prayer is the most powerful thing that you can do and the most impactful thing that you can do. That's how we've gotten to the points that we've already gotten to, and we have a prayer warrior army praying for us right now. And that is just so incredible to me. Sorry, I know I'm not as good as Jenna is on these live streams, but
No, you're doing great.
plus I was just sick the other day. So, but anyway, continuing on our list, Polydactyl gave $45 for the anti-script access and $15 for early digital film download. Thank you so much, Polly.
Thank you. I feel like I keep doing the London Tipton Yay Me clap, but comment if you get the reference.
And Janice Barfield gave $45 for anti-script access. Thank you so much, Janice. And Shelly Beam gave $38 for the anti-t-shirt women's V-neck, $15 for early digital film download, and $45 for anti-script access. And if you're wondering if you're wondering how you're able to support, you can go to antiseries.com/donate. We have all sorts of items there at the store. If one of the moderators could pin that on both Facebook and YouTube, that would be great. Antiseries.com/donate. And at antiseries.com, you can also learn more about the project. And also, if you have any questions in the comments section, let me know, because I would love to answer any questions or whatever you have. But anyway, Megan, what was one of the things that you really loved about the project personally, and what do you look forward to, like, with the series in the little knowledge that you have?
Oh, that's a hard one. It's been a while since I've read the script. What do I love about it? The writing. The writing was, that's just the first thing that came to me. The writing is so outstanding. It's what struck out to me the first time I read it. It doesn't feel like, I think, what's her name? Suzanne said this in the reaction video that you put out, but it definitely does not feel like a senior thesis. I know we keep saying that this is going to be Jenna's senior project, for lack of a better word, but it is so much more than that. I would say that the writing is even, like, dare I say, chosen quality. You know, it's very high quality. I can definitely see this being on on TV or on a streaming service someday. You know, yeah, I would definitely say the writing was what really stood out to me. As far as particular parts, life has been so crazy for me. I will have to go back and actually reread it and get back to you, but I can't express enough how wonderful the writing is. Every time I tell people about this, I'm like, you have to understand how brilliant the writing is. So really shout out to Jenna for all the hard work she put into the script.
Yeah, and Jenna just really, really knows how to translate those things, like characters, plot, all of that, things that we brainstorm on together and
Yeah.
translate that into something so beautifully on a page, on the script. But sorry, but with me, I think one of the things I really love, I just love being on set and working with the actors and visualizing everything, putting it together.
Yeah.
Luna says she's more of a writer and AD than a director, but she loves directing too. I'd say I'm definitely more of the director. Like, I have directed some things before, some very small projects, but which I might release someday, might not. Only because it was just for the sake of, like, just testing director skills. But I this project is something that for the past 2 years it's been our sole focus. Like, as long as I've had Against the Tide, almost as long I've had this project, I've just been very secretive and keeping it to myself for the sake of introducing it at the right time, which now I'm kind of having to do it all of a sudden because we're so time limited to get this project out, but we really do feel like this is the ultimate project that we were meant to do in our lives. And some people may take that as being a little assuming a little too much beforehand, but it's just so strong. And I've talked to other people about it, and they really think that this is something that we've been called to do, and a team is being put together to make it so that it will have an impact of people knowing who God is and seeing his light and his love in a way that's never been shown before. I mean, in the way that The Chosen is giving us a new look at Jesus, in that way of seeing his humanity and his love for other people, let's do that in the same way with Jesus and God the Father, God the Holy Spirit, the angels, and just seeing how the master plan comes together in one of the darkest times, in the darkest time in the Earth's history, and just seeing the battle, the spiritual battle that goes on for people's souls and for the redemption of all people, which is it's people's choice of what they do. But it says very clearly in the Bible that he does not wish for anyone to suffer. And that was the whole point of he does not wish for anyone to suffer in hell for all eternity. And that was the whole point of Jesus coming to the earth and being that sacrifice, and so that we would have that choice. We would believe in him and be able to be with him for all eternity. Like, I know I'm going off on a tangent here, but that's just what Anti is about. We do that through storytelling and just making the characters real and believable, and showing the just a human side that hasn't been shown before, like what we're doing with Gowden. It's speculative. We're not saying that this is exactly how it's going to be, but just all the story and message that matters.
I mean, I was telling people about it today. I've had a few Chosen fans reach out to me and be like, what's this Anti thing you are talking about? And I keep saying it's just, I know I keep bringing up The Chosen, but let's be real, most of us are Chosen fans here, right?
Yeah.
But it's very much how they're just taking what we've learned all our lives and just giving it a completely different perspective and just showing it in a light that hasn't been shown before. And that's kind of what Anti is with Revelations.
Yeah. And fun fact, if we are able to raise all of our funds in by September 28th, make the film in October, then probably after we release the film in the spring, we are going to take this and pitch it to Angel Studios. And if they're interested, then that's where the series will be coming from. I don't think there's anything wrong with me saying that so far, but if the Harmon brothers, if you want to sign on board a little beforehand, you're
send us to the Harmon brothers,
welcome,
please.
So, but anyway, let me see if I got
heads up, I do have to go soon. So unfortunately, I can't stay on for Jack. I would love to, but
well, anyway, it was great having you coming on, and
I can hang out for a few more minutes, but
okay.
Yeah.
Well, you might not want to give anything away on story, but I know that you got to read the outline, not the script, but the basic outline, 5-page outline of season 1, episode 1.
Yes.
Is there anything that you want to share about that?
Without giving away story?
Maybe you can do just a little bit of story. I don't think I'd mind that. If you're going in a certain direction, I'll just put you on mute and
just mute me entirely for the rest of the stream. It's good. I don't know what else to say. I know I said this earlier, but I was reading the scenes that you sent to me and I was like, this feels like it could be I forget the name of the show, but there was a show a few years ago my parents really liked. It was on ABC. It was one of those like weird, twisty sci-fi shows with some sort of plot. I think it involved like a plane crash and like I don't know. If anyone knows the show I'm talking about, please put it in the comments. But I kept getting
Yes.
those vibes from it, and I was like, this could be. I could see this playing on a network. You know, that's all. Yeah, I think that's all I could say right now without giving away any plot points. But
Well, from
it's
the
good.
very beginning, we did know that it, with the basic grittiness and message of the show and story of the show, it wasn't really intended for the typical faith-based film viewers. Which it's great that so many people are just taking it in, like strong faith people just taking it in and are absolutely loving the show and the script. And that is that just
Also,
means
real
so much
quick,
to me.
I just saw in the comments, it's not Lost. I see my friend Becky commented Lost. It's not. It's like a plane that fly. Maybe it wasn't a plane crash. It was like a plane that flew and then landed like 10 years in the future, but like the plane disappeared after a bit. That's the one I'm thinking of.
Huh.
So yeah, sorry, I saw that and was like, nope, it's definitely not Lost. I had to comment on that.
It sounds, the plot sounds familiar. It's just I'm
Right?
like, I'll have to look that up.
Once I'm at work later, I guarantee you it'll pop back into my brain.
But anyway, what I was saying was the show wasn't intended to be, sorry, directed to the typical Christian film viewer, which I've already said that, but we were very much trying to take a approach that would be kind of appealing as far as story wise and just for the sake of what Revelation is, and what Anti is for like the typical Netflix binger
Mm-hmm.
or someone like that. And kind of like it does have some chosen vibes to it too.
Yeah.
Which it is a lot grittier.
I was gonna say, are we allowed to say that?
What was
that
that?
it, that it has chosen vibes? Like you remember what I told you after I read the outline, right? Oh,
Oh, yeah, yeah. We might not want to mention that.
yeah.
Like, we might want to leave that a surprise. But
Yeah.
um, so I'd say as far as the overall story of some of the characters that we're introduced to, I don't really mind if you mention a little bit about that.
About the characters.
Yeah, some of the new characters that are introduced. And
Let's see here.
do you have
There
anything to say
is
about that?
it all revolves around, I guess, one central family. I don't know necessarily if they are connected to Gowden or not, but it basically follows one family and kind of how the events and anti sort of come to be, if that makes any sense.
Hmm.
Like, I don't want to say anti is a prequel to it, but you could see where some of those connections already take place, even though Gowden isn't as much of a central figure in the.
Season 1, episode 1.
Thank you. I was going to say pilot, but I was like, anti is the pilot. Yeah, so even though
Yeah.
Gowden isn't the central figure in it, you can see where the connections are made with this family that the episode, and I'm assuming the rest of the series
Mhm.
follows. Correct me if I'm
Basically,
wrong.
the character that you're introduced to in that a character, it does become like one of like the main character along with Cowden until they ultimately like cross paths a
Yes.
few times in the series down the road. But I've sent that to some of my producers and they said the thing that they really like about it is usually in Revelation when they're establishing like uh just the beginning of the rapture or how it happens is just like overwhelming and you don't really know what's going on, focusing on so much at once. And I thought it would be kind of refreshing for the first episode when we establish all that, just to show one family and their normal life, something that you out there can relate to in this family life, and then to have that suddenly taken away, and just focusing on that, on one person, is and their confusion in that is just really, I think it's different from what's been done before, and it gives you time to breathe before we get into some of the action of later in the season, when we focus more on world leaders figuring out what to do in these times and just some of the craziness of the world. It's just, yeah, again, I'm going off on a tangent probably beforehand. It would be a lot easier if Jenna was here and then we could play off each other as we
Yeah.
always do, but she's not. So
Yeah.
I think I just
Okay. You're doing great.
I think I
That means
just got a
Hmm?
text. I think I just got a text from Jenna right now. Oh, we got a new order in.
we did. Ooh, Becky, you might be right. It might be manifest.
All right, let's thank you so much to Suzanne Flynn for giving $1,000 to come on board to the project as a associate producer. We are so happy to have you on board with us, Suzanne. And now there are two Suzannes on the project. Suzanne, the actress, who's playing Suzanne, the character, and Suzanne, the associate producer. But
I think that's a good high note for me to jump off and get to whatever I need to do. Also, I didn't mention this earlier. There's no good lighting or background in my house. I'm in my basement. It's very cluttered, so I apologize for the background and the rays coming down
no
on me.
worries about that at all. But
I kept looking at the rays and I'm like, I look so heavenly amongst all this clutter, but no, it's just no good lighting where I live right now. But yeah, I do have to go. I wish I could stay on longer. I wish I could meet Jack because I have a family that has done like casting directing in the past, and I was really hoping to speak with him about that. But yeah, sadly, I do have to go. I'm sorry.
All right, well, Jack should be coming on like anytime now, so I'll just wait for him. But it was great to have you on, Megan, and
Yes,
have you on
finally,
another
3 streams in the making, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jack tried to come on the other night when we had Jarrett, so we'll just wait and see what is when he comes on tonight. Like, it should be anytime now. He gave a time range of when he'd be able to join for a while. And yeah. So stay tuned for Jack and for our mystery producer to be announced. And we were able to announce another producer today. Suzanne Flynn gave $1,000 to come on board and support this project. And again, cannot
welcome, Suzanne.
Welcome,
and give
Suzanne.
my love to our.
Jenna sent me a text. She wanted me to tell you thank you so much for that.
Who said that?
Jenna. She sent me a text.
Oh. All right. Well, yeah, I really have to go. Give Jack my love. Give our special guest my love. I really wish I could stay on for him or her. I don't want to say who, but yeah. Thank you guys for everything. Hopefully we could do another stream where I can hop on for a bit longer. I just had a scheduling conflict for today, but yeah, I'm looking forward to more, and I'm looking forward to finally working on this. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's 3 weeks from now, right?
Something weird like that. Yeah.
think so.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, and we'll keep you updated on all the post-production, uh, um, I mean production on set. We'll be like doing daily photo dumps from sets and making TikToks, all that fun stuff to keep you updated. And yeah, seeing that
Yeah.
all goes well and we get the funding in that we need, then yeah, it's gonna be great.
Get
Thank
excited.
you so much. Thank you for coming on, Megan. And thank you.
Absolutely. Talk to y'all soon. Bye.
Bye. All right. Well, I will see if there is any comments that I need to respond to. If you have any questions for me, now is the time to ask them. I think that I'm going to step off camera for just a minute to try to call Jack and see what's up with him. I might not do that right now. I think I'll just send him the link again. But don't be worried because he gave a long time range of when he might be joining, but it could be anytime now. And if you didn't know, Jack, he has worked with Beverly Holloway for like, I think 15 plus years and has helped cast for some of the Irwin Brothers films, I Still Believe and I Can Only Imagine. Pureflix's Samson has a really great cast list in that film. And of course, The Chosen. And now he's the casting director for our film. Like if you know Beverly Holloway and you've seen her casting work, put it in the comments. And because Jack has been right there by her side, going through all the auditions and reaching out to people, helping make casting decisions, and it is just such a thrill to have him on board. Or if you have any questions about the film in general, please put it in the comments section. Uh, just sent the link to Jack again. And one thing I do want to say again, if you want to partner with us in helping to make this film a reality, please visit antiseries.com/donate. We have a store there. You can see how much we have to raise, our deadline for when we have to get the funds in by, and we cannot make this film without your help, without your spiritual help, your prayers, and your financial help. Even if you're not able to give money, maybe you know someone who can. We still have a long ways to go, even though we're halfway there, over halfway there at this point. But yeah, let's see. Again, sorry if you're hearing me coughing. I was just sick recently the other day. And now I'm feeling a lot better. I have a lot more energy than what I did. And if you're wondering where Jenna is, she wasn't able to be on this live stream now. She's working on a set, and she will be for most live streams to come, but she'll probably be joining in on a live stream sometime again. I know you all love Jenna, so let me see if I can bring someone else on to chat with in this time. In the meantime, there is a video that I would like to play for you. Now, some of you might have already seen this video. It is on our YouTube channel. And basically, before we went live with the website, there were a certain group of people who we reached out to and asked to read the script. And they gave their basic testimonies and thoughts of the script, and it just turned out beautifully the way it was edited together, and their testimonies, they're just sharing their hearts and why they're supporting it, what makes the film and the story and the message great. And I'd just love to show it to you. Well, hold on, I think I've got a question here. Oh, from Priscilla Bedzek. I'm sorry if I just totally messed up at the name pronunciation. She said, I was in and out the live stream due to signal challenges. I missed the explanation of what the film Anti is about. I'm a little lost. So, Priscilla, Anti is a pilot that we're currently in the works on here at Against the Tide Media. We may be pitching this pilot to Angel Studios and other production companies next year. And about 2 years ago, my sister Jenna and I, we had this idea for a Revelation series. And the thing that makes it different from some other Revelation projects that have come out is we're taking kind of a different approach on the Antichrist character by diving into the psychology, the possible mental health or dissociative identity disorder that the character may have. And we're not saying that this is an exact representation of how it's actually going to be. But what we're doing is we're just humanizing the character rather than the usual portrayal of just this evil politician who's the devil himself. But in our case, we're doing it someone who's we're doing it with someone who's being used by the evil one to do his work for him in the way of winning people over. And because Gowden, in morals, he is a good person. But the thing is, he's not obviously not a believer, but that's the thing. We're just establishing just kind of the danger of how morals and not knowing God's love, who God is, it can leave a lot of vulnerability there. And Gowden, he had an open window that was there for him. And the thing is, he doesn't know he's the Antichrist. I'm terrible at explaining things. I really do wish Jenna was here so she could explain it with me. I probably need someone else on the live streams with me. I'm just kind of quiet, and I like writing things out rather than saying things on live. But anyway, I think one thing that could really give a good description of what the film is to show you the video that I was talking about, if you're still on. So I'm going to get to doing that now, if you're open to that. It's about 15 minutes long, and I'll try to get another guest on the live stream while we're doing that. So, all right, let me pull that up. And yeah. Share my screen. I hope you enjoy this. It is just really such a beautiful video, and I'm really, really proud of it. And yeah. I am so sorry, everyone. I forgot to put to have audio on, so my bad.
Sorry, everyone. I forgot to put.
Let me try that again. That's why we need Jenna on these live streams.
I saw the title and I read Noah's email, and I was a little hesitant, to be honest.
I was pretty interested of the concept in itself, end time show, a multi-seasonal.
End of the age revelation, to be completely honest, it scares the crap out of me.
When I read the script itself and finally saw the details of what this pilot would be showing, oh wow.
I am so excited after reading the script. It is both a psychological and spiritual tone to it.
By the characters, by the plot, just everything about the script just sucked me in.
It's so unique the way it's approached. Completely different feel, completely different vibe from most shows that we think of, especially in faith-based film.
First and foremost, it gripped me. I wasn't quite sure at first what I was reading, so I said, hold on, let me go back and reread it again, the first couple of paragraphs. And then it dawned on me that this is a mystery I need to solve.
Deep, intelligent. The writer doesn't just hand it to you, you're expected to follow this fast-paced script.
This script is 19 pages of some of the most packed, interesting, incredible storytelling images about a subject matter that we don't like to talk about.
Yes, we're talking about the Antichrist, but it's not the same way that you see in other stories.
It is not like any Antichrist film or series that you've ever seen before.
What I love about this script and why I would really love to see this film get made is it takes the perspective of the Antichrist himself. I've never seen that before.
I mean, when we think of the Antichrist, we just think of some evil dude who's going to try to take over the world. But he's a human, and he doesn't start as the Antichrist. How does he get from point A to point Z?
This was a brand new, fresh take on how this person became the Antichrist, or the mental health condition that could have possibly contributed to that doorway being opened of him becoming the Antichrist.
It's like a total another person when he puts on the glasses, when he takes off the glasses. It just seems like it's going to be a cool character to play with.
Who is he? How does he get here? Is he somebody we already know? Is it somebody that, no, I don't want to give it away.
What is he thinking? What is he feeling? What are his struggles as he tries to figure out what's going on around him?
That whole thought process right there was different. It was fresh. It was sharp.
I think my favorite part of the script was when we meet Talia. Now, Talia is a 12-year-old little girl, and the first time we meet her is in a tent, refugee camp, I believe. Gowden meets her when he's like trying to hide from the press or whatever, and needs just a break. And she's sitting at a table drawing a picture. From the description of the script, it describes it as a man whose face you can't quite see, or is like kind of blurred or unfinished. But the thing that you do see, scarred hands. And immediately when I read that, I just freaked out. I was like, oh my gosh, I know what that is. I know who that is.
There's not really that many shows that have this element of not only focusing on the word, focusing on showing God and his light, but in this case, almost kind of like a screw tape perspective of the darkness and seeing how scary just this realistic approach of how the enemy works. It's so subtle and it's so overlooked at times.
I thank God for the privilege I got to go through the script, to go through behind the scenes. It's gonna be one of the most powerful movies. If you are out there, you have been asking yourself, what will happen after the rapture? What will happen when the Antichrist is taken over? That movie is specifically designed for that. It explains about the Antichrist in details.
And I love the way the script is written. It reminds me of that new Marvel series, Moon Knight, where he had the dissociative disorder, and the switch in the characters was almost exactly how it was in the movie. So I identified with that and I understood, where the script was going with that. And then trying to figure out the other characters that were in there, like, are they good characters? Are they bad characters? And then it also reminded me of that movie with Denzel Washington, Fallen. This demonic spirit was traveling to person to torment Denzel Washington and his character he played as a cop. So I was so fascinated and it just gripped me.
There's a scene where Gowden is, it's like he's trying to figure out what happened or who he is. I almost want to say it's like this battle scene. I mean, there's not really like any actual physical fighting. It's like this struggle between good and evil. It's this struggle between Gowden and I'm just gonna say Satan.
I fell in love with the dialogue on page 19 to where he says,
"You have fire. That's why I picked you. It's stronger than 1 billion shots of heroin. Can you feel it? Can you feel the fire? How could you not want it? Every day, this inside you, just say yes."
Clearly, the way that it's written is fantastic. 2 thumbs up.
Gowden is trying to figure out what's going on, what's happening, and because he's very confused. Satan is showing him all these things, and Gowden becomes weaker or something happens. The script then says that a guy comes in with longish hair, and he's wearing pretty plain clothing, and he puts a hand on Gowden's shoulder, and you see the scar on his hand. Again, I read that, I was like, so those 2 scenes really got me excited.
I felt like my heart was beating fast and tense. I thought it would be hard to translate this complex scene onto the big screen, and I'm curious how they're going to film that and how they're going to make that happen. Major movie magic to make this scene happen. I felt like 12 pages later, my heart was still beating fast.
And by the end of that script, I kept flipping my phone, like, where's the rest of the pages? I wanted more of that story because I am so fascinated about the direction this is going to take, because it's new, it's different, and it really gives you something to think about.
It is definitely keeping you on the edge of your seat, keeps you guessing, waiting for that next scene. It is going to be incredible.
Each version that I have been sent over the course of the last 6 months or so, every time I read it, I get pulled in a little deeper and a little deeper and a little deeper, and I just want to know more. Jenna, girl, keep writing this story. These 19 pages are wonderful, but I want to know what happens on page 20 and 21 and 25 and 86 and 150.
I want to figure out what's going on. Somebody knows what's going on, and I want to know what is happening. It caught my interest.
The dynamics of how the story could grow, not just in the storyline and plots, of course, but also in the characters, in the action and drama.
From what I've seen about this movie, it's going to be something else. I've been watching The Chosen, and it kind of gives me the same feeling that The Chosen has. When I get that feeling, usually it's the Holy Spirit telling me that something's really good.
I know some of who the potential actors for some of the characters are, but I can't say anything about that. Hopefully we'll see them in this production.
And I am so excited to play a role in this, along with some of the other people I have just found out are in this film. Oh my goodness. So exciting.
We're potentially going to be having some people from The Chosen working on this project. So if you like what The Chosen does, and you like the people who work on The Chosen, what better way to keep supporting chosen people than to support this project? That's all I'm going to say about that.
I am Justin Overlander, and I have signed on as a producer for the short film project Anti. Jenna Sue and Noah Bennett, sister and brother team, are, I believe, some of the future leaders in the faith-based film world, and are passionate and talented and hungry. And most importantly, they love God. And I want to encourage young filmmakers because they are the future. And the more of them we can have, the more we can mentor these young up-and-coming filmmakers, the more high quality content we're going to have for years and years to come.
And I got to know Jenna on some sets the last couple of years and just fell in love.
Let me talk about this mysterious Noah figure for a second. Oh, I don't know, like dude's like a kid, but he is like involved to be where you're at and have the connections that you already have. You're like in a smart place. You're like a smart kid.
So I just want to thank God for Noah and Jenna Sue Bennett, whom God is using in this season. I believe that this project, it's a powerful project. That movie goes in details.
I think Jenna's approach is fascinating, and I'm looking forward to seeing it on film. It's genre bending. It's kind of got a little fantasy, sci-fi, psycho thriller vibe to it.
And I love sci-fi. So this was a good way to combine sci-fi along with faith. And I think it is absolutely fascinating.
I don't know that the Anti is necessarily sci-fi. It is technically futuristic, but it has this very like sci-fi jarring sort of feel to it, and makes you look at things and question things.
I love it. Like this kid part of me, this is like, oh, that's legit. That's cool. One concern that I do have on a practical level is it does seem like a high budget film.
We're going to be having a fundraising campaign for this project. Please go support it if you believe in and love this project just as much as I do.
Seems to be somewhat of a high budget, but here's the thing. Angel Studios has done an amazing thing to where basically all possibilities are now open. And Noah Bennett is no exception to that.
I love the website, the merch. I want the hat. I want the hoodie. I want the t-shirt. And I just wanted to see where this can go.
I didn't have great support when I was younger. And so I'm thrilled to be able to support Jenna Sue and Noah. And I truly believe that having the right support can make all the difference in the world. But my goodness, they are doing such a tremendous job already in pre-production, and I can't wait to see what they do with Anti and what they do with their careers beyond.
I feel like this could have the potential to make a really great series. Maybe help people who are scared or standoffish about the whole end times revelation stuff as I was. Maybe look at it in a different light and want to know more and want to read Revelation.
Everything's always very cut and dry. Maybe it really isn't. maybe there's more to the story, and maybe this film will reveal that.
This could go much further than just being a short thesis film. I just know it.
I'm really, really excited to see how this pilot comes to life visually, and especially just how the story unfolds with Anti. So antiseries.com. Follow them on Instagram and keep up to date.
Please, please support this project. Go follow it on social media, on Instagram. Follow Against the Tide Media on Instagram and Facebook, because we'll be updating about this project on those platforms as well.
So please stay tuned. Keep your eyes out on our updates as they are released so that you can see this short film when it comes out. It is truly incredible. You will not be disappointed.
The unexpected is happening right to the end of the script when it says cut to black. Incredible script. I'm looking forward to seeing it on a screen a few times because of how complex and how deep this story is.
I'm super excited about this, and I can't wait to see what God is going to do through this.
I can't wait to watch that movie. Thank you, Jenna. Thank you, Noah. I believe that you allowed God to use you in a powerful way. I thank God for you allowing yourself to be used. Everyone, I'm telling you, it's going to be a powerful project we all want to watch.
Anti? Wow. It gave me all the feels.
Not your normal script.
I wish you luck. You have my support.
This is going to be pretty cool. I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Awesome, Jenna. Awesome. A whole nother level of sci-fi.
I say, let's go for it. Just do it. Just do it. Do it.
The audience for this is going to be huge. Thank you again. And I hope that you will take the time to watch.
Our lazy boy furniture knows a lot about us. Our favorite snacks?
Well, isn't that beautiful? I was just so blown away by how, when that came together, the energy, the love, like you could just kind of feel the Holy Spirit coming out of those people in their words, what they were saying there. Oh, by the way, I have a guest that's coming on to help me do this live stream. Oh, and I also got a note from Jack Kelly that he'll be on in 15 minutes, but to help me coordinate this live stream, associate producer and BTS producer, Colby Robinson. And while he's connecting to both video and audio there for a minute, Colby, if you can hear me, you can come on now. Hello.
Test, 1, 2. Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. We are in business. Good seeing you again.
Good to see you again. Like you were on the first live stream the other day.
Yes, I was. And my apologies for the unconventional setup again. I'm currently renovating the studio.
Yeah,
here it is. So we're about to paint this wall, and yeah, it's work in progress per usual.
Yeah, I brought you on at the last minute, so you didn't exactly have time to do the full setup. But
no worries.
Anyway, I did want to say that with the script, people can actually go to antiseries.com/donate and pay $45 to read the script there. It'll be sent to you within 24 hours. And
what he said.
Yeah, what I said.
Yeah, take notes.
But I hope that you'll really enjoy reading that. And if you have the money to pay for that, it does help support the film. And we have a lot of other products there as well. And one note I did want to read that we got earlier from my dad, Glenn Bennett. He said, beginning today, I will sponsor a t-shirt, hat, and hoodie with any executive producer credit purchased, a t-shirt with any associate producer credit purchased, and a ball cap with any virtual set tour purchase.
Take notes, y'all.
So those will be given to you for free today for September 11th, 9/11. If any of you make those donations at www.antiseries.com. I know we have some other things to get into, but thank you so much to my dad for doing that. And that's coming out of our money, our family's money. Since with this budget, it has to stay very, very focused on the things for the actual production itself, because any losses are significant to quality and to cast and crew that we have on board and that we'll be getting on board. But if you want, I can also screen share the website so you can see that. Or if you want me to move on with other topics, we can do that. But we will be introduced to Jack Kelly.
Well, confetti.
Yeah. So, Kolb, do you see any comments or questions or anything that we've gotten so far?
Let's see. No questions so far, but lots of love and support from everyone. Thank y'all.
Yeah. Oh, one thing that we can talk about is Colby, we had Megan on earlier and she was telling us a little bit about her reaction to the outline for Season 1, Episode 1.
Yep.
I wanted to ask you about that. I think we can go into spoiler territory a little bit.
We can.
Obvious, like what we may be starting out with the first episode.
Okay.
And a little addition into that. But what do you have to say? Like, what did you love about it?
So first, I do want to make sure on a scale of like teaser to spoiler, what's my boundary right here? Like, do I go like all the way, like explain the entire thing from beginning to end, or like they're kind of hint?
I'd say it's kind of like I wouldn't say explain like full.
But you know what I mean. You know what I mean.
Yeah, it is. Like I'd say.
Yeah, because we'd be here for like 2 hours or something.
Yeah, I'd say mainly just the like structure and the narrative, like of how we're fulfilling it,
how we're approaching it,
and just some of the basics of the characters, the story that we're focusing on in Season 1, Episode 1, and how it may be a little different from other portrayals that have been done before with Revelation or starting us on the journey.
Absolutely. Yeah. So as Noah said, I had the amazing opportunity to see what the outline of Season 1, Episode 1 looks like so far. And oh man, yeah. What I love so much about it is the just the way the story is being told. The approach, of course, we always say like is unique from what's typically approached. Really, one of the things I love so much, first of all, is just the pacing of the scene. I think many times with something shows, like sometimes the story can feel like too fast, or sometimes it can feel like too slow. Whenever I look at like the details of what's happening in the story, when it's occurring, I sometimes like think through like how soon is all this occurring. And
Yeah,
what
like-
I love is just it's literally the outline alone. It's not even the full script yet, but it just flows. Like it just runs like on this an even pace where it's like you're able to just move along a trail with like an occurrence happens and then you kind of see the reaction to it and then something else happens and it does give you a chance to kind of comprehend all that's happening in the moment. And yeah,
Like,
I mean,
one thing
it's one of those things that let's say once like you like either you read or you see for yourself, it's just the timing is perfect. Yeah, and then the other thing, I guess kind of going along with that is what I love to call like the less is more concept when it comes to storytelling.
Especially now with so many of the stories that are being
Yes.
pumped out, they're just over the top.
Mhm.
Let's throw all this in there to make it interesting.
Absolutely.
'Cause they-
Yeah, what happens is it's like, yeah, lots of like entertainment, you could say for the most part, the storytelling approach has basically become what I like to call like oversaturated, where it's like it's just, you know, action, just like all this action, or drama's like all this drama, and like, you know, even like any visuals, just like all this VFX or all these explosions and so on and so forth. It's like everything has become so like we need more, like over the top that sometimes I feel like that it's like putting too much icing on the cake. In a sense, it's like go ahead.
And when you have these, I mean, those kind of things do work if you put them in the right moments, and then they're
In the right
special
moments. Yes.
But
once again, I mean, also it is that balance. To me, like I'm so focused on just telling the story. It really is, in many ways, it's simple of like a task, like, okay, here's this story. We need to tell the story in the best way possible. What gets complicated is just figuring out how to do it right. And so with this film, what I love is, you know, of course, you have this like whole vast like world that's happening. With episode 1, it really perfectly introduces us into not only the world, but also what ends up occurring. It gives us a chance to basically get our first impression of what is happening, what life is like, and etc. And really, it's in a sense, I kind of call it like the cold open in a sense, where it's the introduction that that introduces pretty much the emotion of it, like, oh no way. So then in the case of like even like the next episode and so on, you know what basically happens. And so now by the time you get to the next episodes, as the story goes on, you're able to kind of see some like the same moments from different perspectives and almost like different like sub stories within it, and you're able to comprehend it easier. It's like it's easier to digest, because rather than the A plot, B plot, C plot, and so on all happening at the same time, it's like you've got the first plot that happens, and then you see the second one, and because you have an idea from the first, it helps you understand the second one easier, and so on. It kind of
and the way
it matches that flow. Yeah.
Like one thing that I do want to say is that with that flow, one thing that we decided to do is with kind of bringing the worlds together and the stories together is, well, we have one character and he's watching TV, like he's watching the news or something like that. And then we're introduced to a new character. And with that, we may not even really know that it's a new character at that time because, you know, it's on TV. But once we get into it a little bit, we actually transition over from where we're at, where it's just this character we already know watching TV. And then we're brought in and introduced to this other character in another location. So why don't we talk a little bit about who these characters are? Like, the thing I love about the Baines family, that's like a very significant group of characters in season 1, episode 1. But the thing I love about them is that they could be you, basically. Like, it's just a normal family with everyday lives, and they're coming together to celebrate a holiday, which it's Easter time at when it's taking place in the storyline. But I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about what you thought of just like the characters, and tell us a little bit about the characters.
Yeah.
Just from your POV.
Absolutely. Really, it's everyday life in a sense. When we start off in the
2040s,
episode,
in the
yeah,
2040s, but it's still like
everyday life. Yeah.
everyday
It's
life.
like a normal, like Easter Sunday, if I'm correct.
Yeah, Easter Sunday.
Yeah, I have it pulled up on the screen as well for reference. Are you able to still see me? Is the camera still working?
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, because usually you have like multiple monitors, but I'm like crammed in just this one monitor for now. So yeah, so Easter Sunday. I'm looking for the text where it shows that.
And one thing I just want to say real quick is why we're talking about this. This isn't the pilot. None of this is in the pilot. And this is season 1, episode 1 that we're talking about here. But the reason why we're talking about this is we want you to know that why we're making this pilot and why we're raising money right now at antiseries.com is to let you know that there's more to come. There's more story, and this pilot was made in the idea that it can be explored. And we actually have, like, with all of the seasons, they're all mapped out. We all know where the story's going, and we want to share that with you, and we want to share that with the world, share God's love with the world through this story, which is kind of a difficult subject.
As the saying goes, the show must go on.
Yeah. But anyway, Colby.
Okay. So yeah, back to the basically it's like a normal everyday life day. Well, yeah, well, it's a holiday, but it's just a family that we just relate to, just gathering together, just enjoying the presence of each other to spend some quality time. You're not even thinking of any like unexpected thing happening that day and all. And then the news is on, and then they're watching basically someone on the news talking, which we later find out is an important character in the story.
I think it'd be safe to say who
We
that.
can say, okay, so Gavin's on the news talking about politics, about refining us politics for the better people. I'm not sure how to word it like in a political way, but like it's kind of more humanitarian, like good cause.
Oh yeah, like, and
yeah.
in the anti-pilot script, it even talks about like shows a flashback of what's supposed to be around this time where Gowden, he's not really in any. He's not even a politician at this point. He's just a humanitarian. In charge of this organization called Safe Haven. And I mean, think about it. Like, there are some other events that we wrote into kind of the anti-timeline that will kind of explain it more. But in this world, there's probably going to be, like, in the 2040s, there's going to be a larger population of people. And with many jobs going to artificial intelligence is probably going to put more people out of work too. So organizations like Safe Haven will probably be needed in this time, and that's what Gowden's in charge of, which is actually a great thing and great moral thing that he believes in.
Mhm.
And he was given that
Mhm.
by God, actually.
But of course, we realize there's a catch.
Yeah.
Because, and here's the $1 million important question: does good morals and being a good person mean that you are safe? Because we see on the news that, he's talking about, doing the good for the people, being good for the people. We have this normal everyday family. And then, can I do the page turn? So you go, and then, well, poof. All of a sudden, where's so-and-so? And also, where's so-and-so? Everybody disappears. You look on the TV and now there's chaos, and then Gowden's hiding as like a Secret Service guy. So I don't know, or like trying to hide him, get him in a car to leave quickly. And then we are left with one person remaining at the home, realizing that he really was not in a full relationship with God. He ends up realizing, I was talking the talk.
Jack. Oh, Colby, I'm
Yeah?
so sorry to interrupt, but Jack just entered the waiting room. Jack Kelly himself.
Commercial break.
Cool. You're finally about to meet the man.
All right, here we go. Sign me up. Drum roll. I didn't do that a lot. It's probably gonna be a thing or something.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Hey. What's
Hey,
going
Jack.
on? Hey, I am on 112-degree heat in LA. Sorry, I'm in the car, so on my video, I was afraid my broadband's probably not gonna keep up, but so you're not seeing my face, but I'm glad to see your.
Okay, no worries about that. So I'm just so glad that you were able to join us.
Yeah. What's going on?
Well, so anyway, we've had a lot of people been waiting to finally get to talk with you. They absolutely loved getting to meet Jarrett on the previous live stream, and I think that they'd be really curious to hear about the well, first of all, I want to say, unless you're watching this live stream live right now, but if you're playing this live stream later, I would recommend, as a replay, I would recommend watching the Jarrett Lemester live stream that we did previously first, then coming back to this one. But if you're watching live, let's just keep going. So Jack, if you, I wanted to talk to you about basically how you got connected with us, and then what was your initial thought process on this pilot that we were making called Anti, and then this character of Gowden, Emmanuel Gowden, that was really unique to you and stood out, and we wanted to make sure that we got the right guy, and then coming into Jarrett.
Totally, yeah. Well, it all starts with a lady named Beverly Holloway, who's the sweetest woman in the entertainment industry that people love, and I've worked with her for a very long time, and been cast by her about 24 times. So, yeah, she, I guess, with your sister, or was it with you directly? I forget what the initial. She contacted me about it. I don't know how she first learned about it, but I know she's worked before with Liberty and some of the students in the program there. So Anyway, so that was my first on it, and actually, you guys are my getting my sea legs in casting really from beginning to end. I've done this a long time, but I hadn't done the whole thing just me without Bev as the safety net, although she's always a reference call away. But anyway, but yeah, so super fun. Love the challenge of that, let alone when I read the script, it's just super creative. I love the just a fresh take on things, because anything that gets people to think in a new way about material like this that can, it's like, oh, we've seen this before, or Left Behind, or this kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
And so I love the very creative approach to it. The dual personality thing I think is fun. It's a fun thing to tackle in not dual. I mean, it is, yeah, right. The alternate with the glasses or whatever. Sorry, it's been a while since I read the script. I'm trying to remember.
No worries. No
worries.
worries.
But I love that, and what I love in I mean, just creativity, shifting things, bringing a familiar, content in a fresh way. Also, to inspire people to read the content, read the Book of Revelation afresh and anew, which is always good. Right, fountain. Sorry, I'm giving somebody directions as we're driving.
Oh, no worries.
Welcome to Hollywood. Here we are. So I love the project. I love the writing is super fun, and just as you continue to hone it and shape it and all that good stuff, and so to be able to jump in on the casting side with just to see what we would find, right? Because I mean, with you don't have $300 million yet to make this into your whatever your dream, but it is your dream. It's just the first step toward it, right? And so just I was curious to see what we would get, and just really honestly praying into that. Something Beverly and I take very seriously, just praying over any roles, any projects that we take on, and trusting to just get the right person in the role, and let alone somebody that can connect with something, especially that's biblically informed like this. So, so I love that, and just seeing what God will do. And so finding Jarrett was a dream. We went through, I forget how many different casting kind of networks we were using. And you never know what you're going to get depending on time of year, depending on the type of project. Usually on a grad student film, you've got, actors in LA are looking for footage for their demo reel. So you get a lot of that, but you're not necessarily going to find, because this was so specific, especially because you already had in mind such a specific type that you were looking for. And so, it was just a fun process to get it kind of back and forth with you guys, and landing on Jarrett, which was kind of a miracle, I think. So thank you, Jesus. To find the Antichrist at Babylon B, it just in and of itself has a beautiful irony.
Yeah.
I love that. I love it. And he's very capable. He's got a great look. It was just, and even just for you guys in the process of starting out with, kind of the image in your head of what you're looking for, and, you had some very specific types, obviously, to be able to kind of work with it to find the type.
Yeah, I'd be open to, I don't think I've ever said this publicly before, but Jack or Colby, do you want to say what the type was that Jenna and I, ever since the beginning with Anti, what the type was that we were going for?
It's what I think it is. Did we talk about this before?
I don't not publicly.
Oh boy, can I say it?
Did I let the cat out of the bag?
Was it the Tom Hiddleston type?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They may not have heard that clearly on the live stream, but so Jack, what were we looking for? What did I come to you saying? I mean, Jarrett does kind of bring that, but
you were looking for Loki.
Tom Hiddleston. Yeah, I mean, Jenna and I have said, Jim says what type? Tom
Hiddleston and Loki, that
Loki
kind of
from Marvel. And Tom Hiddleston has been in some other stuff too that we've seen there.
And it cost us about 2 million or something. I don't know.
Couldn't afford Tom Hiddleston. But, he just had very much like this gravitas about him. And
yes. And we actually looked in kind of, in that arena, and I'm trying to remember, like Jarrett submitted, because we used faith-based casting. We have several different networks we'll use. But I think he was through faith-based casting. So that kind of helps just by the name itself. Anybody that's going there or signing up to post for an acting job under faith-based casting at least has some connection to or some interest in the content, right? So
exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But
Did we hit Highland? We haven't hit Highland yet, right? Sorry, forgive me. I'm navigating directions here.
Very good.
That's on the brain. There we go.
Um,
Anyway, as you were. Yes, go ahead.
So anyway, Jim says, why Loki and how does Jarrett work as that or instead? Well, basically kind of how, like, it's kind of hard to describe because he was just like, when back 2 years ago, like I know Jenna has said before that that Marvel has kind of been certain things about Marvel, like not everything, has been somewhat of an inspiration for some things and anti. And I think like that was also the first time that we saw anything like from Tom Hiddleston too. And he just kind of did, like there was this interesting dynamic of the way Loki was kind of a an evil character, but kind of misunderstood at the same time.
Yeah.
And there's just a lot that we saw in there of like how he could kind of win people over and just his and kind of his journey all throughout the MCU. He is trying to find a heroism in himself, which it's kind of different with Gouton because he's basically always, well, not always, but has had this good moral in him, like, or about him, because he has he did grow up in a loving environment and he's just had a passion for helping people, which is very different from Loki. But he was just sorry, very he's trying to figure out just what the good nature, like, go ahead.
His identity?
Like his identity, yeah. Like what?
Yeah.
Like, because there is something missing with him. There's always been something missing with him, and he doesn't know what that was. And that's kind of similar to what we saw in Tom Hiddleston's portrayal as Loki. And in some other things that Tom Hiddleston has acted in too. And he obviously has like this welcoming kind of look and presence about him, and which Cher also has that, just in kind of a different way. They both very much have the gravitas.
Yeah, and that's why, like, the idea of prototypes is just a way to work quickly. And give like you have to figure out like how much wiggle room, how diehard in your type that you're looking for. But yeah, no, they both have the gravitas. It was interesting. And with Hiddleston, I mean, you've got classically trained British actor, and I don't know what Jared's training is, but he just has that natural like you said, a gravitas and presence that just works. Yeah, it works well.
And to think for 2 years, like, we couldn't think of anyone or like anything just any actor that could work for the role of Gowden besides Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah.
We're like, how are we going to get Tom Hiddleston? So, but we just took a step out on faith again.
Yep.
Oh, Suzanne just said something perfectly. He's trying to fill the hole in his life with everything except God. And part of that's just
exactly
that just puts it so perfectly, because part of that is he just doesn't know. He just doesn't know that that's like the loving nature of God, and what he really wants for his people, which I think is the problem with most non-believers. And Christians, it's sad to say it, but a lot of them do give a misrepresentation. It's like they think that it's a very judging kind of environment, or that it's about like only the best of the best. Again, going back to morals. When really, if you think about it, Jesus called a bunch of misfits as his disciples, like what's shown in The Chosen.
Well, like Christ always said, the only people Jesus ever yelled at were the religious people, right?
Yeah.
People that were like perfectionists, like, yeah.
And then some people might make the mistake of just like sharing about the love, but not showing how you can get to that, like how you can get on that level through believing in him and through the redemption, so you can be with him for all eternity. And because he set that up, like, because people, I mean, when we messed up in the Garden of Eden, that was kind of stained on us with the evil one, because we made that choice. And so God worked on a plan so that we could come back to him, and we could have the choice to come back to him. Because one thing about God is he's all about free will, because he's a God of love, and love is free will. And that's one thing that Gowden, we'll see if he learns that in the series, because there are a lot of people who are trying to show him, as you can see even in the pilot, as well as a lot of people or beings who are trying to take him in a different direction, get him away from that.
You know, I almost feel like it's I'm thinking of Judas, actually. Like, at what point was there a point at which Judas became irredeemable, kind of made the flip? He's the, kind of in that identity space as well. Just the parallel that just sort of jumped to my mind, but
yeah,
interesting.
Well, I did want to talk to you about just Jarrett in general, Jack. Like, I remember you sent me that audition, and you were like, "Hey Noah, I actually got a good one."
Right.
Because you had sent me some ones before, and I mean, some of them were just questionable. Some of them were good actors, but they just didn't work for the role.
Right.
So,
right. And I mean, once you find one that works, yeah, because it was a challenge, like to find the gravitas, especially, it was just missing in most of the read that we got. And going through, especially the faith-based cast, we didn't get like a ton of submissions, and there's various reasons for that. And just the point is, we get what we get.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I saw Jairus, I'm like, oh, thank God. Definitely.
Yeah, and just the fact that, like, I remember when I opened the audition, I saw in the background he had like when he was giving his introduction, even in his introduction, he stayed with the British accent. He stayed in character, basically. And how often can Americans do good British accents? Like Jarrett's
Well,
so
yeah.
professional in
Only one.
yeah.
Accents are interesting. If you have a musical ear, you can usually pick up accents like easier. But depending on the actor, if they've done their homework, which a lot of them don't, because actors tend to be lazy, myself included. Accents are something you can develop that. There's tools for that to learn that. But I mean, he may just have it naturally in his pocket, which made it easy for him. But no, bringing the role, staying in character, it's all part of the game, part of the work, I should say.
And one of the things I just love about Jarrett is, I mean, I'm willing to work with people who have very much to little to no faith, just so long as they're open to working on the project, being respectful,
sure,
to that the dynamic and just helping us make this without causing any sort of an argument, no matter what background or anything. One thing I love about Jarrett, he's just so on fire for this message and for Jesus. And
well, just think about not least which how much easier that makes your job, Jenna's job.
He actually loves his job. He loves what he's doing, and he loves the character and the series, and the pilot. But it was just such a gem to be able to find him and work with him. But
absolutely.
Jack, I definitely want to work with you for years and years down the road for the series. Hopefully we can bring Beverly on as well, just to expand the search.
Better yet, we'll cast myself in it.
Yeah.
But so
that's actually happened the last two projects. I ended up in the ones I was casting. Anyway, it's always fun. Yeah, absolutely, brother. You bet. I look forward to it.
Yeah. Well, so Jack, was there anything else or like something that you wanted to talk about Jarrett, maybe some of your other work, or
it's interesting. You probably Jarrett better than I do, because you've actually had conversations with him. I just found his tape and found the work and handed it over. So, which is my job. That's the way that works. So that's the way that should be. It's I just love what you guys are going. You're going after it. I love the fundraising, all the pieces of the puzzle, all the moving parts, and I love the timing of this. I feel like the timing and the kind of the world and the culture that we're in, it's lost its mind at a whole other level. I love that you guys are stepping on the scene, and there's a sense of acceleration that's a gift from God. God's moving in you and in the people He's bringing alongside you that are, this is not an accident. Right on here. So I'm just excited for that, just to see the stamp of God, see the Holy Spirit at work in this, and it's all the faith that we get to step out and see the money come in, see everything that's needed, see the business side of the business like taken care of, and see the expertise that you need. You're finding it, and also just really just a sense of timing. You do what you can do, and really, as people think that we trust in the Lord. We're Proverbs 3, 5, and 6ing it all over the place. I would say, like, really trusting in all of our ways and acknowledging Him, and He will direct your path, which is what I see going on. So that just excites me. So that's the kind of thing I want to work on, because those are plenty of projects that they're not worth. I mean, I'm not, I don't do this job for big money at all. I'm in the wrong side of the business if that's the case. It has to be a love project, a passion project, just a something that stirs me on a much deeper level.
And I mean, like with me, Sorry if you keep hearing me cough. Like I just had the flu a couple days ago, so
Oh gosh.
got some aftermath from that. That's one reason why we haven't been doing live streams lately. But
Oh,
anyway, I
okay.
was just gonna say that with me, I am very much focused on the creative end. Like my mind doesn't work in a very good business way. And the only thing I like about what we're doing with the fundraiser and bringing in money is just seeing the support that's coming in. Like the way people are passionate,
Sure.
knowing that they're passionate,
Yeah.
and they're excited in the way God is using them and bringing them in to help tell this story. They're every bit as important as everyone else on this project because they're putting together the pieces to that. And I pray that they'll continue, people will continue to do that before September 28th, which is our funding deadline. We have to, we already have half of our production budget that you can support at antiseries.com/donate. But anyway, I wanted to say that when I kind of, not in every way, but I hate the business aspect of all this. And it's so funny because with most productions out there, I mean, think of like Disney or something like that, where you have all this content that's being pumped out. A lot of it's not very good story-wise, or just like is trying to fill spectacle, which I mean, I'm not saying all of it, but most of it, like you gotta admit.
Yeah, or just making the same movie again.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like Disney
Well,
has
it's
that, like,
it's all about risk aversion, really, because if something made money once, they have a higher hope that it'll make money again. And when it's your, 50 to 100 or 300 million dollars on the line, there's a lot of fear, and which being, as Jesus said, cunning as a snake, innocent as a dove, is a part of this. Knowing, being sharp in what just the skill set that is needed, and knowing what you don't know, and looking for people that have, can bring in the strengths that you maybe are missing. But also we have the potential of faith being the currency of heaven, faith being the currency of why you guys feel called to this in the first place. It's not just, we have a drive to be famous, we have a drive to make money necessarily. I mean, God, bless it, Lord, it will make money, but our ability, I think the potential, if God is like breathing on something, to go against the fear aspect and be able to tell better stories, be able to tell the kingdom of God provides the best framework for storytelling, period. There's real good, there's real evil, there is a battle, there is a struggle, there's, and it's like, and we have some of the best story fodder of anywhere in the Bible. And so I find it interesting, the fact that we can bring faith to the table, faith not just in a general sense, but in a very specific sense. When you need $10,000 by tomorrow or you're sunk, I love that space, because that's a God space. If God doesn't show up, we're sunk, and that's where I and my lunatic tribe in Los Angeles tend to live. That's one of the lunatics driving right now. Right on, let me there. So I love that for you guys. I think that's part of what you bring to the table in a generation of filmmakers that God is like breathing on and moving on right now. And you're a part of that. You're part of this groundswell. And it's bring that to the table. So, I mean, for Noah, I'm like, I want to like challenge you. I don't like the muscles you think you don't have. I think maybe just are small in business, because it may not be your first language, but it could be your second language. And I think I kind of expect there's a surprise in this for you, finding that you're a little more capable than you realized. That's my Holy Spirit spidey sense is going on for whatever that's worth. Anyway,
all right. Well,
I love you, dude. It's funny. It's the first time I like seen you, and I'm like, dude, you look like a young Loki with got the hair action going on, and got the like facial features, and it kind of makes me laugh.
Maybe I should. Maybe I.
Loki.
Maybe I should have just played Gowden. No.
Cast yourself. That's what I do.
Baby Gowden.
Baby Gowden. I like it. I
Yes.
like it. We'll get some action figures.
This is the way.
Okay. Well. Well, I will have to compare my resemblance with Jarrett. The thing is, he.
I mean,
has,
he didn't ask you as Baby Gowden, so.
Thing is, I have a whole head full of hair, like all the way down to my chest.
Yeah.
So, and he has like only short facial.
Well, no, in Loki,
no
did he
hair,
have
hair.
long hair in Loki? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what that's the resemblance that's coming to mind. Well, brothers, I'm actually about at my destination. If you got I got about 2 minutes left. If you got anything else,
We've like I was just getting ready to say, we are going to be announcing our associate producer right now. Somebody who you're seeing popping up in a lot in the industry lately. Please welcome Mr.
Which way is he?
Steve Shermatt has signed on board to Anti, the pilot, as an associate producer.
Yay.
Hey, how's it all going?
Welcome aboard.
Thank you so much. Nice to be here.
Yeah, and Jack, you Steve, you basically got on while pretty much everyone was on here. We've got Colby, we've got Jack, our casting director. Nice timing.
Hey.
And some random Noah kid too.
Is
Yeah.
Jack really here?
I am. I have low bandwidth, so I thought I would save my audio at the expense of my video.
Gotcha. Well, nice to meet you, kind of personally, at least.
Nice to meet you. Yeah.
But anyway, if you I'm seeing so many comments coming through here, talking about Steve. Everybody loves you, Steve.
Thank you. Love you too.
Keep going. We'll start at Starbucks.
Yeah, but Steve, he has gosh, you've done so much. I'd say that primarily people know you from your work on The Chosen. He played that Pharisee without a name.
Right.
And
he who shall not be named.
Yeah, right.
Character returns in season 3, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, I will be in episode 4 of season 3.
Nice.
Nice.
And you've also done some moderating work for them, social media. But what were some of your other projects?
You mean besides a few interviews on Against the Tide Media?
Oh yes, you've been interviewed as well as done interviews.
Yeah, I appeared with Ted Danson and Holly Hunter on Mr. Mayor.
Yeah, that was, I know that was really big.
Yeah, that was huge. That was cool.
Yeah.
And then I was in the feature film Fronteras that was on Netflix for a couple of years. And I'm in Amazed by You from Avondale Pictures and The Righteous 12 with Avondale Pictures. And you'll be seeing me next week on Pursuit of Freedom as it's hitting select theaters and major streaming platforms, video on demand platforms. Next week, the 16th, Pursuit of Freedom. Gonna be a lot of people on there, you know. Great true story. Got to see it.
Yeah.
You heard him.
Hey guys, I'm so sorry. I've got to sign off. I apologize.
Well,
This
thank
has
you
been
for
awesome.
being on, Jack. Glad you got to meet Steve for a few minutes.
Yeah. Good to see all you guys, and we'll do it again. Sounds good.
Bye.
Good.
All right. Bye.
All right, so Steve, I wanted to ask you, basically what I ask everybody else when they first come on the live streams. How did you get connected with me and Jenna and come into this whole world of Anti, learn about what Anti was? And I think I mentioned this something about the series to you a while back, like 2 years ago, just very, very small, in a very small way, but how did you really? And What was your take on all that?
You and I first got connected. I'm trying to remember who it was that connected me with Against the Tide Media, but I saw that you were, interviewing folks with The Chosen.
Yeah.
And I thought, wow, that's pretty cool. This young guy has gotten his hands and himself into doing these interviews with all the stars of The Chosen. I was pretty impressed with what you were doing, Noah. And I just thought it was cool that your entrepreneurship at that age, I just thought that was pretty awesome. And then you asked me if I would do some interviews for Against the Tide, and I did. And I guess that got you and I talking, and you told me that you had a project in development, and even back then was hoping that maybe there would be a place for me in that project. And since then, you and I have been in touch about that and a few other things, and it's, I guess, been going from there.
Yeah, and so I believe it was earlier this year I sent you the script, and that was kind of your first really look at what you were doing with the story. We wanted to introduce it in the form as a pilot to kind of just get everyone familiar, and on a somewhat lower budget, well, actually a good bit lower budget than what the series would be, but it still maintains the quality. What was your initial thought just on this character Gowden, what we were doing differently in this approach and Revelation compared to what had been done before? And what did you love and respect about that?
As I said, in that you captured my little video of it being genre bending.
Yeah, I love that word.
Yes.
Yeah, I wish I could say I coined it. I don't know where I heard it from, but it definitely applied here. It's hard to pigeonhole. This is, from my perspective, it's a whole new thing. And if it's done right, it's going to be phenomenal. The story itself, I don't want to say this is exactly what it is, but let's just say we get to see the Antichrist as a human being and the struggles that he goes through to become the Antichrist. I mean, that's a little picture of what we saw in
Yeah.
script I read.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, he wasn't even trying. He he doesn't want to be the Antichrist. He is just like, he doesn't even want to be in this position that he is as like chief of alignment of the aligned nations. He just wants to help people, like as we see in the flashback of him working at Safe Haven. That's his ultimate dream goal right there with that. But
now I forgot to ask you as I'm talking, is the script public? Is any of this, I don't want to give any spoilers.
Well, it's kind of public because people can go to antiseries.com/donate and purchase the full script for
good enough. I remember
$45.
$45 donation to the production of Anti.
Thank you for bringing that up, Steve. Yes, and it's remarkable. Like, I guess we actually ended up announcing another associate producer because a while ago, Suzanne Flynn gave $1,000 to have the associate producer credit and donate money to the production. So we're now over halfway to our production goal of 74,877, which we need to hit by September 28th.
I think it should be those 877 and 7 cents. So we can end with 777.
Love it.
Throw that 7 cents on there, no, just got it.
Yeah.
Colby, if you want to ask Steve a question, I think I gotta go for just a minute. I was sick a couple days ago, so I think I gotta go get a tissue or something.
Go take care of your business, brother.
Okay, Colby, brainstorm away.
Okay, here we go. So
Okay,
now,
if you mute yourself, Noah, we don't need to hear anything.
yeah. So now, by adapting all his questions into my brain, and I'm trying to formulate a question right now. So I guess we could talk about I usually talk a lot about the process of the storytelling itself within the script. So of course, like I said before, what's funny is before you got here, I was actually talking a bit about the outline of episode 1 because Noah was starting to work on that, and we started talking about that for a bit. But one of the things that I might want to ask is, in terms of the storytelling process, is there like a favorite, I guess you'd say, element with the storytelling process, as in like whether it's like the pacing of it, whether it's the performance, the action? Is there any sort of part of the story that you feel like is kind of like your favorite part that kind of makes the story come to life?
Yeah, I think the way you've got Gowden being two different people, this whole personality thing going on with him, I don't know. I think that's pretty stinking cool.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
It's a dream role for an actor to be able to, play two totally disparate people and to bring that. That to me is pretty stinking cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, because every time I see that, and throughout the story, like I think there's kind of like this like one kind of pattern that I notice, and it's contrast. It always seems like that there's one part of the story completely opposite with something else alongside it. So of course, in Gowden, like we see contrast of what he thinks is the innocent side of him versus the evil side of him, glasses on versus off. And then even in some moments, like where there's moments where everything seems good, but then the contrast of it doesn't settle right. And so that's an element I feel like that this continues to just be almost in a sense a theme of the show.
And I think there's going to be like this sense of dreaded anticipation.
Yes.
Because we know where this is going, but we don't know how it's going to get there. And I'm sure we're going to kind of like the way The Chosen is doing Judas Iscariot, which I think is brilliant. They're bringing him in as somebody we can like, appreciate, and relate to, and then we will be upset and grieve at his fall. And I think there's going to be an aspect of Gowden that we like, appreciate, and are upset and grieve at his fall. I'm only assuming. I don't know where this is all going yet either, but
yeah,
I like how it's going to draw us in, play with our hearts. And I just think this is important. We have a mystical idea of who the Antichrist is, and he fits in this little box. And that's okay as far as it goes. But we've got to take the Bible and bring it to reality. This is a real person. And it's not like Damien. He's not born to be evil, the Antichrist, possessed. There'll be a point in his life where through a bunch of decision, a moment's going to occur where he just goes to the dark side, if you know what I mean, and gets possessed and does whatever the devil does. And to be able to watch before, during, and after, we're going to be on the edges of our seats. It's going to be great.
And like, when Jarrett was on the live stream, that other Antichrist show, Damien or whatever, it's funny because at some point in Anti, there's another character named Damien. Which I didn't know that. Like, I wrote the character before I even know about that other show. But in that other show, there's apparently it was supposed to be like ever since from the beginning. It was like this. He was meant to be the Antichrist ever since the beginning. Like, and it was just had like evil, didn't care about anything, was just only cared about being evil, etc. And like, I just don't look at it that way. Like, how could a human being just be born to that? It would have to be someone who the evil one created himself, which, I mean, I'm not ruling out that. Like, I don't know how it's going to happen, but this is just a speculation of
And I don't know, where you and Jen are going to take this, especially if it's going to be multi-seasons. I'm sure it's going to develop and expand and grow. But when I look at evil people from my experience, evil people in the Bible, just take Pharaoh, for example.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a point where God finally cut him off and said, now I'm going to harden Pharaoh's heart and use him for my purposes. But he had to get to that point. And even when Romans says people turn from God and God eventually gives them over to their own wickedness.
Mhm.
And so I can only assume that's what's going to happen with the real Antichrist, who's going to be portrayed by your character Gowden, that he's going to go through life, make his decisions, some good, some bad, and there's going to be a set of choices he makes that pull him further and further away from righteousness and God. And there's going to be a point where it's just, okay, he's done. He's made his decision. He's not for righteousness.
Yeah. And we'll see where it happens. Like, I know Jenna and I know where everything goes, but I want for the people to be exploring all the ideas. Like all the ideas.
Well, I'd love to sit down at some of your spitball creative sessions one day. That should be fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. In fact, Colby here actually got to read the outline for season 1, episode 1. It's only 5 pages.
Oh
It's
yeah.
basic, but yeah, we were just talking about that earlier.
And it's something.
I know there's hopefully going to be a great surprise that I'm privy to that's coming.
But I can send that to you as well if you want.
Way, I'd love to read it. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
So anyway,
Y'all
if you
jealous?
have
Y'all
any,
jealous now? Get in there, start producing with us.
yeah, it only costs for associate producer. It only costs $1,000.
By the way, I'm in for my
Actually, it's 5,000.
expertise. I've joined up for my expertise and to help bring the production along. I'm not coming in as a sugar daddy, unfortunately. I wish I could do that. I wish I could come in with $1,000, but I'm here to help in other ways.
Yes.
Just so everybody
Yes.
knows.
Yeah. And with Steve has been working in this industry for a long, long time. He's produced on many projects, and he's just the weight in his knowledge is just going to be so beneficial to us, along with some of the other people we have on here, like Justin Overlander, Boyd Corbett.
Can't get away from Justin. Justin, what is this?
Yeah, I'm going to be talking with Justin tomorrow, so we should make some plans to sit down and do a live sometime.
Yeah,
I know he's really busy with the shift right now, but he said he was going to help us with some of this stuff. And one thing, I think it's okay for me to go ahead and say this, but in about 2 weeks from now, listen up, people. Jenna and I, and maybe Justin, like we'll see, we'll be flying out to California to be interviewed by the Babylon Bee.
Yay.
This I knew. In fact, I'd like to share with the people, what do producers do? What kind of stuff might I be bringing to the table? And though I don't know in advance what that's going to be, when you told me that, I reached right back out. I said, okay, you're going to be interviewed by the Babylon Bee. Talk to him, find out if there's anybody else in the industry he knows, and turn it into a press junket and do other interviews. And if at all possible, try to reschedule it for 2 weeks from now because of the Santa Monica, the American Film Markets meeting in 2 weeks there. And that's the #1 place to pitch film ideas and to get funding. So I said, no, you should do a press junket, go to the Santa Monica film thing. And that's the kind of experience and knowledge and ideas that I bring to the table.
Yeah.
Oh.
Exactly.
And so hopefully some of that will work out for you so you can just maximize that trip,
Yeah, exactly. And did you say that was like in November?
Yeah. I think
well, the problem, like I think I said the problem with that was we were trying to do the interview before we start filming and fundraising, we start filming while we're still fundraising. But I mean, we are doing another fundraiser after filming, not as much money for post-production, which
I'm trying to
there's
look through
not,
the
there's not as much time crunch there.
And of
Like,
course, it's always letting people know about season 1 because
yeah,
I mean, while we're making the pilot, it's while we're making this, this is gonna be what the rest of the show would look like. So once we have this sent to you and you can get an idea of what it looks like, then we can see more of these episode looking things.
Yeah.
November 1st through 6th, America Film Market. Happens every year, and it is the #1 go-to place. So if there's no way you or any of your producers can get there this year, maybe next year.
Well, I would love, love, love to do that. And maybe, I don't know, maybe they'd be willing to talk with you since you're one of the producers. I know you're in Arizona,
I'm
right?
in New Mexico now, unfortunately.
Mexico.
New Mexico.
New Mexico. Oh,
Yeah,
New
the way this the way this works, it's kind of like an open air market for producers to pitch their projects. So all these
Like
great
a convention.
Yeah, it's a convention.
Yeah.
All these people come in, those who are looking to buy movies and buy movie rights, and those who are looking to sell movies and TV shows, they all get together. I've not been there. I've had friends who go there every year. So knowing how to do it would just be a phone call away. And their website also has a step-by-step. But I also told Noah at our last conversation that he and Jenna should start working on a pitch package and a treatment. So when they have an opportunity to pitch, this is the format that people in the industry know. Yeah, here's our pitch package. Here's our treatment. And, and they also have this thing, Noah, it's called the elevator pitch. You should be able to pitch your project within like 30 seconds in case you bump into some executive and you want to grab their attention and say, hey, this is what it's about. And you've only got 30 seconds to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I'm absolutely terrible about that. If I feel like under pressure when I'm talking, it's like.
Well, that's why you do it ahead of time and you have your pitch memorized.
True. True. Jenna's much better at that stuff than what I am.
Then
So
she needs to go. And where is she in school? She's in Virginia, isn't she?
yeah, Liberty University. She I know you might be wondering like why she's not here. She is working on a set right now. She's going to be working on a set for pretty much up until we finish the funding. Yeah, until us. So, but she might be on another live stream soon. Until I can have other people on board to chat with, like Colby here, and like you, Steve, and like Justin, to talk and just go through everything that's happening now. But I do want to share something with you real quick. The other day, we were able to secure paperwork for our main location.
Wonderful.
Is this what I think it is?
It is.
Oh yeah. Yes.
I wonder if I'm able to get the video right now too. Well, I guess I can show that later on another live stream or something.
Is that to the mansion I will be buying when I hit the Powerball?
But yeah, for the pilot, we are going to be filming part of the pilot in this location. It is our only location out of Lynchburg, Virginia. And it's also probably our most expensive location by far. And so let me just show you here. Drum roll, please. Castle on the Potomac, McLean, Virginia, US. This is Gowden, one of Gowden's rest areas.
So
it's cinematic.
Yeah, like I mean, look at that. Look, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's absolutely beautiful. And it's amazing that we were able to shoot here. This is going to be during the later end of the shoot. Still have few other locations in the film, but
Yeah.
go through some of the pictures here.
I don't know if you know about this or not, and sorry if I'm being stupid, but I just don't know where your level of experience and knowledge is. But make sure you get the proper release for the filming, that you can use that location and they can't come back and sue you for rights or anything like that.
Oh yeah, we've already gone through all of that and talked with them, talked with the places. It's all good there.
'Cause
But
it's
thank
more
you
than
so
just-
much.
Yeah, it's more than just renting an Airbnb. You got to have the rights to the video for, in perpetuity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the owner, he's like, he's pretty chill. He's actually, I think, pretty interested in the concept, and has actually recommended some things to watch, like for the sake of like what we're writing in like some kind of supernatural, biblically based shows, not necessarily faith-based, but it was interesting. Jenna got to talk with him about that, and but yeah,
How many days you planning on filming on that location?
4 nights. But I mean, I can't wait to see Jarrett in here.
I'm so ready for that.
Like it's amazing that we were even able to get something like this for the pilot.
Yeah.
But I'm just so excited, and for a while I've had to keep this quite under wraps. But now it's finally public, got all the paperwork and talked to the man, and yeah. So, well, people seem to be liking it in the comments section.
Oh, it's beautiful. I can't see any of those comments. Are they in the chat section here?
It is.
Under the comments of the live stream.
If you go to Facebook, you can, or YouTube, you can see some of the comments. I think most of our viewers are coming in through Facebook.
I'll check it out. I imagine you're going to keep it up so I can watch it later.
Oh yeah, we always do that. And it's so weird on YouTube. It's streaming in 2 different places right now.
That's cool.
Like, I didn't mean for that to happen at all. It happened.
2 ways to view it on YouTube. The first link and the second link.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about it. I should have linked it to my social media so people could have been watching off of my page next time.
Yeah, next time. That might have given it away too, though.
Yeah, good point.
Surprise to prove.
True. Yeah. So now that you're announced.
Now that I'm announced.
Congratulations, they're official.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway. So, Steve, is there anything that that you wanted to share? Just general thoughts about where you're excited to see the journey that this series, the film, and all of that is going to take. And that goes for you too, Colby, because I think we're probably going to wrap it up here soon, unless you have more time, more topics you want to talk about. And we'll also see if anybody has any questions for you, just drop them right in the comments section. But any thoughts or anything you want to share?
We talked a little bit about Godwin while you took your little break. So I talked a little bit about what I found interesting there. But I'm kind of interested in seeing where you're going and Jenna are going. To watch you guys develop as filmmakers. This is your first foray into making significant films, and I'm pretty excited for both of you. And I'm hoping this will just be the first step of many great steps as you desire to, share your faith on film. I'm excited for you, and I hope it's a huge success. And if the Lord's gonna tarry, that you're the next generation to continue telling excellent stories by the film media. So God be with you, God bless you, and may this go very well.
Well, thank you so much, Steve. That just means so much to me and Jenna to be able to hear that. And one thing that with this film and with this series, it's really rare and a blessing because not many people at all get to start out with their dream project, basically, like the one that they feel like is the one that they're meant to do. And maybe there's going to be something else even bigger down the road that we don't even know about right now. But
That's
be
what I
able,
anticipate for you.
well, it's just, I think it's just really showing like this project has always felt much, much bigger than us. Sometimes we were wondering if we were even fit to tell this story because of, I mean, just how little we have in this experience. But I mean, people have seen our writing and our filmmaking style before. And they
Let me ask you to talk to Jenna and get me a treatment as soon as possible, because I know somebody who can make this happen if they like what they see and it fits in with their current plans. So
okay.
I will get it to the right
Well,
hands. And
I
we'll see
will.
what happens.
I will do that. In fact, I will just show her this little bit of the live stream.
Okay.
So you can see that. But I'm curious, you mean like for the pilot to get us to the rest of the way with this, or you don't have to go into specifics. I was just curious.
I have access to a studio that produces content that we're all familiar with. And they're looking for projects. So
Okay.
Okay.
I'll do that.
I will share with them whatever email or pitch you guys have to tell them what it's about. I will send it their way, and then it's in God's hands and their hands at that point.
Well, thank you so much, Steve. This is just one of the, like, I'm okay. I think I'm tearing up now, honestly, but
Don't. It's part of how the industry works. It may go nowhere, and it may be the answers to all of our prayers. It could go either way.
yeah, it's just the weight and the just feeling the Holy Spirit with all these people who are coming together and have been supporting us and just care about what we're doing, care about us and this story, and all those people out there who aren't loved or don't think they're loved or aren't saved yet, and how this film could help them with that, and how they know they can get to this eternal salvation. And like, again, I'm off on a tangent, but it's just people like you. This is the people that God's putting together to make this happen. And I am, with all the lows that we can run into sometimes, the highs, they way outweigh that. And
this industry is such a roller coaster. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Oh,
From
yeah.
Day to day, highs and lows.
Very much.
yeah. So, and I think with us being able to tell this story, that it is, it's just kind of showing something and how important it's needed in this time. Because I mean, think about it. There's so much dark and demonic content, media that is out in the world right now. And if I were to talk about it, the list would just keep going on and on and on. It's ridiculous. But I think by doing this, some people who may be unsuspecting, thinking that with the topic we're focusing on, like Antichrist and
Well, hey, listen, Disney's putting out a cartoon about the daughter of the Antichrist or whatever it is. She's the Antichrist. I don't know. I'm not paying a lot
It's
of attention.
literally called a little demon.
Little demon. So, yeah, it's a good timing.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
show 'em something
it's
better.
Very much.
so we will, like, I mean, maybe things are oddly coming together in a strange way. Like, I just find it so funny because sometimes evil's tactics can backfire in the most amazing ways.
They always backfire. We
That's
don't-
just the way the game plays.
All things
Yeah.
work together for good.
All
to
things
those who love
together for
God
good.
and those who are called according to his purpose.
Amen.
So sometimes we get privileged to see how it works.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
hopefully we'll get to see it here.
All right. Well, was there anything else or
I
yeah.
think it's a good place to wrap up this one. What do you
Yeah.
think, Colby?
Okay. Well, before we go, you wanna lead us in prayer? Because you're amazing at leading in prayer, Steve. On
I
that
was waiting for
meeting
you
the
to
other
bring
day.
me to that. Colby, Steve, who? Yeah, I would love to pray. Let's pray.
Okay.
Lord God, we've got a team of people working really hard to pursue a dream and a passion in the arts, but it's centered all around you, trying to honor you and your ways and your word, and to lead people to you. And it's not that we want you on our team; it's that we want to be fully on your team. And so we pray that you would bless Jenna and Noah and the rest of this team and help us to tell this story for good. Bless it tremendously that many people might be strengthened by what they hear and maybe even be saved by what they hear. Guide us and keep us and help us to always keep you first and to trust you through all of it with the faith of Abraham. For it's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Well, that just says it all right there. I've been so thankful for everything, all the people coming together, and as much there's a miracle happening right now. And the miracle more than anything is just the community and the people who want this to happen. And apparently God wants this to happen too, because it's got some people to reach, and we're just treading along, doing our bit, bringing our loaves and fish, as the people of the Chosen like to say. And we'll get there eventually. In fact, and we'll get there eventually is the last line in the pilot.
Ooh, nice.
Ooh,
That should be merch. Oh,
Yes,
wow.
sir.
We'll
That's
get
it.
there eventually.
T-shirt, hoodie.
Yeah.
Maybe on the
What is that?
back, we'll get there, and then on the front eventually, or something like that.
Yeah, I think it's it's Talia. Yeah, it's Talia who says that.
Make like, I don't know, like a small little like travel planner that says we'll get there eventually.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay. We just found our new motto here at Anti. We'll get there eventually.
We'll get there eventually.
Hey, you know that from God's Not Dead. God is good all the time. God is good. That thing.
Yeah.
Well, when we get on set, we can say we'll get there, and then the response can be eventually. That could be our thing.
Yeah.
Okay, TikTok team.
We'll get there eventually.
Eventually.
TikTok, take this and edit this, put it all over social media. Take this little bit of the live stream here. Let's get hashtag we'll get there eventually out there.
Let's ask Tim Farley to come up with a nice graphic.
Yes.
Yes. He'll make it eventually.
It says, is this true for all angels and humans? We'll see.
Wait,
We'll see.
we'll get there eventually.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good.
Well, there's a lot more to come in the series, so we'll see. We'll get there eventually. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming on
Bye,
here.
everybody. God
And
bless. See you next time.
you've been amazing.